All right, good morning, cyber traders. Welcome back, everybody. Let me get a little hello. See if everybody can hear and see me okay. All right, everyone on YouTube Live and Facebook Live, everybody all good? Good to see you all. John, Toby, good to see you. Chuck, Don, Ivan, Grant, good to see you all. Welcome, everybody. So listen, when the bottom is the bottom, you know what I mean? We're having a nice little rally going on. I told you this yesterday. We were down to 18,000. Okay. We just broke 25,000, which was a major resistance levels on the Dow. And just, you're hearing that they say they're going to have a big comeback in the third quarter of the market. So when we get to probably September, which I really think is going to happen, you could see a huge rally in the market. But it might be a little too late by that time. Okay. I think what you're going to see is people now, like I just was reading out my local paper that there's like 4 different phases that they're going to be doing in New York. And phase 1 now is with construction and, fishing and hunting and all that, the necessities. They're going to lift those restrictions. Phase 2, they're going to allow financial companies, businesses to go back to their business. I think like phase 3 and phase 4 is where they're going to start allowing to have haircuts and restaurants opening, stuff like that. So good news, we might be back in our office in 2 weeks, and that's gonna help out a lot. I mean, but the thing is, once that happens, then you're gonna start seeing people, especially in July, when they start losing their $600 stimulus check for unemployment and stuff like that. People are gonna start realizing they have to start going to work. Okay. I don't know if you heard this, but I was reading an article. They said that the divorce rate is so high right now because people actually have to stay home with their husband and wives. Never did that before, and they kind of lost their patience. Like, wow, I mean, this is really not really working out, which is kind of terrible too, But no, I mean, I have a great relationship with my wife and kids, and we do great. You know what I mean? But some people never experienced it. But I think what's going to happen, a lot of people are going to start going back to work, and they have to go back to work. People need to go back to work. You can't, I mean, like, you can't depend on a $1,200 stimulus check. Okay. It just look at DraftKings, for crying out loud. Okay. Remember we were talking about DraftKings, everybody. Okay. And I said this is the day trader of choice of stock right now. I mean, this is everything of every. I mean, I was reading an article on it. They said that they're going to be probably one of the biggest online gambling companies in the industry. And it's weird. It's not just like what you were thinking of, like, whatchamacallit, like fantasy football or anything like that. You can actually start betting on like who's going to be the president, or what's Congress going to pass the bill or not, or you know, is the Queen of England gonna sip the coffee or not? I mean, they're going to be doing unbelievable things across the board. I mean, just crazy stuff. And you know what? Unfortunately, I mean, I'm not in that business, I'm not a fan of that, but unfortunately, it's a big business. I mean, you see all the casino stock stuff. So, I mean, keep a close eye on it. One thing I was really upset about this, it's going up too fast. It had a really big takeoff yesterday, and I'm a little disappointed. I don't want this thing to be, and listen, when we trade, we see things go up too fast, they come down twice as fast. I don't want this thing to go up that fast. And and I'm getting a little disappointed because it did go up a little too fast the last 2 days. So keep an eye on it. But there was a lot of stocks that we traded. And, like I said, good news is once New York opens up, I mean, remember, New York is the financial capital of the world, and it really is the hub of the world. Okay. Especially if you hear what's happening in Hong Kong. I mean, that is really a hub of Asia, and I'm telling you, I mean, all the countries are really a little ticked off at China regarding what's going on with over there in Hong Kong. And I mean, that's another story of something else. But as traders, guys, I told you catastrophes make opportunities. I know we've been inconvenienced. You saw what's been going on with the market, and you see how much we rallied so far. We rallied literally almost 7,000 points in a matter of a month and a half, which is unheard of. So they feel great. The vaccine's coming out. A lot of them passing through phase 1 trials, and which is great. Now it's all about, you see what's happening with airlines. You see what's happening. We're going to talk about those stocks. So I really want to go talk about them. First of all, I mean, Norwegian Cruise Line, for example. Listen, you want to know what's the next tip, the next best tip, okay? You want to know what the next phase is? Start work. Listen, if you're an airline fan, if you fly or you like cruises, you might want to start looking into jumping in and maybe preparing 2021 or 2022 to buy a very inexpensive ticket. Once again, they're fully refundable, but if they're giving away, you can be on the concierge floor for the price of being in an interior room. You know what? You combine, you find, you know what I mean? Things will work out. So you want to, that's going to probably be the next phase that's going to be going on with the airlines and also with the cruise stocks and maybe the hotels and maybe some of the resorts. It's funny. I'm watching TV and I'm like, I'm watching shows on sandals. I'm like, why are they advertising sandals on TV? Nobody's going there. Like, why? What are you advertising? You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe giving like crazy deals right now. So I would keep that in mind. That's probably gonna be the next biggest tip. So let's go take that money and go enjoy it now, right? I mean, I think we all could use a vacation right now, wouldn't you say? All right. So anyway, Norwegian's doing great. All the airlines started popping. Okay. United Airlines, 28 to 32. I mean, I can go down the list. Delta Airlines up huge this morning. It was up 7%. Stock 25. Look, it's already at 27. All right. What else we got? Save. I mean, you could see it from 12. That's already almost at 14. But the thing I would be a little concerned right now is look at the long-term chart. Just keep in mind, they're testing a major resistance levels. Okay, so be very, very careful of these airlines right now because it looks like they're coming to that peak. And let me tell you something. I got suckered in about a month ago on some of these stocks, and I took a little bit of a hit on some of them. And listen, if I held on to them, I'm even. But you know what? I got out of it. I bought something else. I made more money with something else, and that's all that matters. But there are a lot of stocks that are making some big moves also. What's up with the Hertz over here? I thought Hertz was going out of business. My God, Hertz got destroyed. Look at that. My God. $20 stock went down to 55 cents. Keep an eye on Hertz, everybody. Keep an eye on Hertz. I'm going to put that on my watch list right there. What else we had? We talked about that. UAL save Hertz. Yeah. So Hertz got destroyed. You could see that what happened. And it's coming back a little bit. So listen, everybody's like, why would you buy Hertz? It's in bankruptcy. You know what? Maybe someone says, at 60 cents, I had it at like $6. Maybe somebody's coming in and says, I'll buy the company out. Or maybe it could be a merger. I don't know. It could be a buyout. Or a hostile takeover. You don't know. But at the end of the day, it's all about making money, right? Because look at LK. Remember LK? LK was down to $1.60. You guys did good on LK. It's backing off right now, but LK has been a great stock. We have fun trade. I made a lot of money on LK. I made tens of thousands of dollars to LK. No matter what they did, and as much as you don't like them or what you know what? The more you focus on how you feel about certain companies and like, oh, whatever, I hate them. They should go down. Would go bankrupt? They're listed. Listen, us day traders, just remember, very, very rarely we hold positions overnight. Okay. And this is something I would not hold a position because it could be gone tomorrow, but the volatility is there and that's all that matters. But overall, it's been a really, really fun market. So anyway, let's go through some of the stocks that are moving this morning because there are a lot of them out there. So we get their pen and paper ready. Now, obviously, if you're on YouTube and Facebook Live, you can't really, you need to write it down. But if you're in the Cyber Group room, I'm going to post up the picks on there. So let's go through the watch list because there are a lot of good ones that are moving this morning. And why is it moving today? Because today is Hump Day. Okay, we're done with the holiday weekend. Tuesday, I told you the morning kind of stunk, but then all of a sudden things started picking up. But we had a nice little market up, and that's all that matters. But there's a bunch of stocks that are moving, and we're going to talk about. First of all, LK's on the list. Okay, put LK. I wrote it down, up 24%, but she is coming down a little bit. You could see she's making lower lows. I was looking over here on my level 4, and let me just bring it over here and just show you. You got a couple of iceberg orders that was hitting right around 290 and 290, 291, 292. You can see you got 52,000. You got close to about 100,000 shares that are going to be sold right there. a really big seller at $3. Okay, so you can see he's been out there since 7 o'clock this morning. But you got a nice little, you got some support levels right around here, around 260. So remember, biggest thing we always teach you: follow the damn money. Okay, that's all you have to do to make things easier on you. Next one on the watch list, PUHN. Another one that just gapped up from nowhere. You guys remember we traded this about a few days ago. This stock went from $1 to $3. Another stock, we killed it. We made a lot of money on the stock right here. But she's trending down. Some news came out at 8:30. You can see, remember, there are two big moves, one at 8 a.m. and one at 8:30. You always, when we start, we're in the room around 7:45. We start early. We always talk about it. Hey, where's let's wait for the 8 o'clock move and see what happens. We get that little spike. This was an 8:30 move. But you know what? If you didn't have it, you pretty much probably lost money on it. But I want to keep a close eye on it because we did trade the stock. We did pretty well on it. GRNQ, another one on the watch list. Stock's up 105%. Went from $1.60. It was up even more. Went to 210. She's kind of holding here pretty strong. I'm seeing a lot of buyers out there on the level 4, holding pretty strong right here around $1.60. So I want to see how this stock opens up. Remember, we trade these stocks like this. Remember, a lot of stocks we trade exactly the same. So we've seen stocks like this before, and all of a sudden they finally just pop on us right at the open. MRSN. All right, this one a little bit more expensive, not our typical under $5 stock. $15 stock. Stock's been doing pretty well. You could see that. Another pharmaceutical stock. It's got a little bit of a Fausto flag. Not too many iceberg orders on the level 3. You could see it, which kind of odd because you got 400,000 shares traded. So she's up 41%. But I like her trend. The trend is your friend. Don't buck that trend. HTBX. All right. Another one, cheap little stock, 18%, 3.7 million shares. A lot of you remember this stock also. We traded this stock in March. It ran from 30 cents to about $1.20. You could trade several thousand shares of the stock, but it is a penny stock, guys. Okay, you could tell right away because you got no ECN orders out there on level 4. So that one's doing pretty well. And then obviously, all the airlines, I would keep an eye on them. Alaskan Airlines, AAL, another one. But they're backing off right now. JetBlue was amazing this morning. That one just was doing great. That one was going up pretty nicely. You could see they're all up about 5-10%. All backing off right now. But I want to see how they turn out. Remember, they all are testing major resistance. I mean, look at Spirit Airlines. Everyone looks exactly the same. They trade exactly the same. I personally think that Delta is probably the leader indicator. So sometimes when Delta goes, you could probably chase JetBlue. JetBlue sometimes got a big spread. So you want to be really careful of that one. And then all the cruise stocks. They were doing great, but they're starting to back off right now. So a little like, they obviously gapped up pretty big. So maybe there's a lot of profit taking going on. RCL was up big this morning too. It was up over $4. Look at that. It's back to $55. Wow. Right. Could have bought the stock at 20, 25, 30, doing pretty well with that one. NCLH. The thing you have to remember is this. The bad thing about being a day trader is that you're way too conservative. People that, that's speculative. No, you're way too conservative. And we always because day traders only focus on making a day's pay. Okay. We don't care what we trade. But because they have great volatility is one thing. But when you become a good day trader and you just know from history and from experience, I've been doing this for over 25 years, been around since 1995. I've been through every catastrophe you could think of. All the way up to the only one I was never involved in was the 1987 crash. So you just know, listen, Warren Buffett said it best. I heard it yesterday. He said this: don't bet against America because you're going to lose every time. Okay. Don't bet against America. America is known as the best entrepreneurs in the world. Okay. And they will find a way, and they will find a way to come back. You got the smartest and best people here. Why do you think a lot of people from other countries come to our colleges? Why do you think other people like to manufacture our product, but we think they are all American made products? So don't bet against America. And these stocks, like you said, listen, if you loved Norwegian Cruise Line at $40. You were drooling when it was at 10. You know what I mean? So they'll find a way. They'll find a way. Sometimes these book values are worth more than what the stock value is. I'll never forget, I traded back in the financial crisis. I traded on Bear Stearns. And Bear Stearns went from like $120 down to $4 in about 5 days. By the way, if you ever want to watch a great movie, and you're going to have to watch like 2 or 3 times, watch The Biggest Short. A lot of famous actors in it. The Big Short was a great movie. It'll teach exactly what happened in a financial crisis, pretty much. Not that just was just a great movie in general, but it'll educate you. Listen, if you're a trader, it will educate you about the trading industry, okay, and how these people made so much money on it. And you'll learn so much, and that will make you appreciate what you do and why you need to be careful what you trade. But my point is this: I'm sorry if I'm bouncing around here, but you bet against these companies, they will find a way, and they will burn you. Okay. So like I said, if you're not looking for the short term, long term, I said it in my last interview at NASDAQ. When you hit the worst of the worst news, they find a way and they will come back. But Patrick said The Biggest Short was a great movie. It was. You watched it twice a day. Listen, Jose, sometimes you got to watch it probably like 3 times. It's so confusing because they're doing so many things. It's just a great movie. But it's not that it's just a great movie. It's because you're in the industry. Okay. This is not The Wolf of Wall Street. All right. Wolf of Wall Street was a great movie. Probably should have won Best Picture, but it's not going to educate you anything about the stock market. Okay. The movie Wall Street, not really going to teach you too much about what we do. Biggest Short will teach you how to trade. That's what we do. Okay. There's nothing wrong about that movie, what we do. So definitely do well. Couple of shout outs. Jerry just made $2.50 on Disney. All right. Give him a round of applause. Nice way to work in pre-market. Disney's doing great. I told you that a couple of days when they did that NBA thing. Okay, we got about 18 minutes. So you got the stocks out here. We got a lot of stocks that are moving. You could see here. By the way, Zoom, which is not the same Zoom that we're looking at right here. It's ZM. Zoom, I told you this a while ago. When the stock market goes up, Zoom will go down. When the stock market goes down, Zoom will go up, okay? Because more and more people, when they go back to work, they're not going to really need the product anymore. So the Zoom has done great. We made a lot of money on that stock, but I still, obviously, long-term, it could be, it's a different story, all right? Anything I'm missing, guys, I did not call out. Anybody in the cyber group room that I missed? Anyone in the in YouTube or Facebook? Anything else that I'm missing I did not mention? I think we pretty much got them all. Is that a stock or is that someone's name, Lee? Mark? Yeah, okay, Mark. Okay. So Mark is doing really, really well. I thought I had it on my list. I guess not. You know why I didn't have it on my list? Because the 9 o'clock move just kicked in right there. You could see it went from $3 to $3.45. That's the reason why I did not call it out. Okay, there you go. Very good, Lee. Stock's been a really nice push, 40-cent stock. Stock's been pushing, every day. We traded several times. But remember the stock when we traded at 260, it dropped all the way back down to $1.40. So remember, this is short-term thinking, not long-term thinking. All right, everyone. So we got a really good list. And a couple of things, just a couple of quick little announcements. Today is a very important day because today we start the phase. We start phase 3. Hold on, let me just bring this up over here. And I want to share it in the room. Okay, so we got. So today we got phase 3. Phase 2, and Josh is going to talk about psychology and discipline. Probably a course that you could apply to everything: futures, forex, options. Very important, of course. Listen, he's not a psychologist, but you know what? And neither am I. But mentally, we all know what we're doing wrong and right. So it's a great class. Make sure if you're a gold and platinum student, make sure you're in that class. Very, very important. And then also for anybody here that is on YouTube Live or Facebook Live, and obviously students, we always welcome you to kind of help us recruit. Tomorrow, I got 2 very big events. I'm going to be on Investors Expo, and we're going to have our own event. You could see on the bottom, ladies and gentlemen, just click on the bottom of that email on YouTube and Facebook, and you guys could register for that event. So, and I'm going to talk about, how to trade level 3, level 4, basically the basics of how to be successful, and, and a lot of discipline too also. So don't forget to register for that. All right. So it looks like a little bit of a busy week. So I got back-to-back events. I got one at 11 o'clock Eastern and one at 12 o'clock. So I'll probably be exhausted by them, but I'm always excited and always love doing them because I hate seeing people lose money. It's no reason. People are looking at what's happening in the market. They're crying. They want to go back to work. You know what? Let's go trade. You can make a lot more money doing what we're doing right now. And there's no safer place than being in a cyber group room. All right, everybody. Good luck. Happy trading, everybody. Oh, I'm sorry. I got a couple of comments here. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me just answer these couple of questions. I got a couple of people in the side in YouTube Live that just mentioned. Fausto, what do you think of mRNA? I'm going to bring that up. mRNA is done. Okay, we know about the stocks that they had. They're in phase 2. Was it the coronavirus? But listen, buy on rumors, sell on news. Okay, stock was 20 to 80. Not that it's not a bad company, but some people, listen, like to take a profit. Stock looks like it's going lower, breaking lower lows. IZEA stock is really garbage. I wouldn't even look at this. I mean, Nizal, I don't know. Absolutely garbage. I'm sorry. There's nothing really going on with it. Listen, you're here to make money. So when it comes to trading, try to focus on something that's going to give you less risk with more reward, but we also got to have volatility on it. All right. All right. So there we go. Let's get back to work. We got about 8 minutes. I'm going to go fill up my coffee. Remember, everybody, wait the first 5 minutes of the market opens before you go out there and do anything. And then we'll go out there and trade it. And then we'll go out there and, like I said, we'll do what we can do. All right, guys, be safe. And if you see something, you say something in the cyber group room. Good luck, everyone. Happy trading.